Hello, everybody. Welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. So let's start with the DXY quick. What I expect from the DXY is that we can reach these monthly highs, where the price came with a lot of sellers in from that point. So I expect that the price can reach this black horizontal line here. And if I go now to the weekly, you can see this aligns with the minus 6080 from the weekly. So I take my Fibonacci from the low here till the high. The minus 6080 round number is at this zone aligning. So that's what I expect for the DXY right now. On the daily, we are also making the bullish M here. The first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, possible fifth leg, which we are already doing. So yeah, we are bullish. So if I go now to my pairs that I had in mind, the first one was Euro AUD. So if I go to the monthly chart, you can see that we are at a monthly supply and demand zone and we are rejecting from it. So I put my horizontal black line at this rejection candle, which is already a blue candle. And I saw here are coming buyers in on the monthly, sellers, impulsive sellers, almost a tap, support, very nice support, and support, resistance, support again. So it's a supply and demand zone at that level. And what I could also see is that we had a fib completion from the high here till the low. We have the minus 6080 aligning here, sorry. If I go now to the weekly chart, you can see that we can have here a smaller shoulder one, this head, and a smaller shoulder two, where we can come back for. And we have a nice weekly bullish indicational candle close, very impulsive. So then I went to the daily chart and I was looking for a pattern. So what I can see is that we have pattern within pattern. So we can have this shoulder one, this head, then the possible shoulder two, because this was the last lower higher and we are above that. So that's nice to see. And if I look to the smaller patterns here, we have that bullish M here that can play out with that smaller shoulder one here, the head, shoulder two. So, and the trend line, first touch here, second touch, third touch, that can hold our price up for more upside momentum. So that's what I can see on the Euro AUD. So on the 4-hour, we need to have more development. We need to have here some deceleration before we can go to the downside or a pattern. And yeah, if we can have here deceleration, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, and if I don't receive that, I want to see a reversal pattern in a form of a inverted and shoulders, or an kind of bullish M here under the previous lower high here. So then I can take my trade there. So yeah, this is a trade we need to have patience for. So the next trade that I had in mind is GBPNZD on the monthly chart. You can see that we are at a very important zone and we are rejecting from that. So this was our resistance here from 2017. This was support, nice institutional candle, holding up, down, support, 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 support again with a nice blue monthly candle right now. So that's a nice indication. And yeah, a clear monthly supply and demand. So if I go now to the weekly chart, you can see that this was our low here on the weekly and this was our last high. So everything between that is just relief for more upside momentum. So what I can see right now is, okay, we are at this buying zone here and we are rejecting it and we have a weekly bullish candle close. So I went to the daily to see, okay, if we have a pattern, and what I can see is that we can have this shoulder one here, this head, shoulder two. So I expect one more candle to touch this zone, which we had also here at the shoulder one, and then I will look for buying setups. If I go now to the, and this is also a clear supply demand zone. If I went a little bit back, this is resistance, resistance, and this is support and support. So a nice supply demand zone also there, aligning with the 78.60 on the daily. So that's nice. If I go to the 4-hour, you can see that we are making this shoulder one, head shoulder 2 here, so I expect more downside momentum. And then what we want to see here is I want to see just here a break and then kind of reversal pattern in the form of a shoulder 1, head shoulder 2. Or if we don't get that and we have that impulse, then I want to see that bullish M here for more upside momentum or some deceleration. So that's why I can see on GBPNZD. So this also needs some more development before we can take it. So the next pair is AUDCAD. If I go to the monthly chart, you can see that on AUDCAD we are bearish. This was our break of the higher low here. So, and now we acted as resistance right now. So this is a clear supply demand, so acting as support, resistance, resistance. So everything between these highs and lows is just correction for more downside momentum. But what I can already see here is that we have that smaller bearish W here, as you can see, and we are rejecting from it with a bearish candle close, so very impulsive. So that's a nice indication. And if I look more back in the past on this monthly zone, you can see it's a clear supply and demand. Some buyers are coming in as support, 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 support. And here we are under it as resistance, resistance. So now I went to the weekly chart and I saw, okay, we have here nice deceleration here. So this can be also a double top for a possible reversal sign. So then I can see we have a possible bearish W here from like this first leg, second leg, third leg, possible fourth leg, then the descending trend line holding a price up for more downside momentum. So yeah, we have also that weekly nice bearish impulsive candle close. And then I went to the daily and I saw, okay, we can have a pattern. Right now we can have that bearish W here. So I expect that the price can come to that institutional candle lower high here. So this was also clear support here and here resistance. So this can again be resistance here. Or if we not go that far to the upside, then this will be my first resistance point. So if I go to the 4-hour, then if we don't break this daily zone first, then I want to see the pattern in the form of an shoulder 1, head shoulder 2, or just a bearish W here for more downside momentum. If we don't do that, yeah, then we will go straight to the upside, and then we can have here deceleration 1, 2, 3, 4, or a pattern like always, head and shoulders for more downside momentum, or the bearish W for more downside momentum. So yeah, this is again a trade we need to have patience for. What will happen? This can also go straight to the downside. So yeah, so the next pair is NZDCAD. So on the weekly, I will just go first to the monthly. We had that clear supply and demand, so acting as support, support, support here, resistance, resistance, false breaks, also as resistance, resistance. So we also saw that we have here a bearish W here with an head and shoulders, shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2 for more downside momentum. The monthly TP is aligning with this buying zone here, so we can touch that for sure. And we have that descending trend line here, first touch, second touch, third touch, that followed our price to the downside. So that's what I can see. If I go to the weekly chart, then I can see that we had that bearish W here, which held very nicely at this zone with a deceleration box there, rejection candles, and we have now that weekly bearish impulsive candle close. So that's nice. So that then I went to the daily and I saw we can have that bearish W that we are forming here, and then a correction, and then I saw here the supply and demand zone acting as resistance, resistance, support here. So then I expect the price to come till this supply and demand zone, aligning with the 78.60, and then I want to see there a pattern on the 4-hour. So if I go now to the 4-hour, then I want to see here the impulse to the upside, and then maybe some deceleration or a bearish W or an head and shoulders, as you can see, like this, head and shoulders, take the trade to the downside. So yeah, a lot of trades that we need to have patience for. So, and the next one also is CADCHF, so we need to be careful for these three CAD pairs. If I go now to the weekly, you can see that I will just go first to the monthly, and then you can see that this major descending trend line was holding the price every time to the downside, as you can see, and now we broke it. So we can go to the downside for sure, but yeah, at some point we will break this structure. And yeah, this was also corrective nature counter to the trend descending channel for more upside momentum, so we can break that. If I go now to the weekly, you can see the weekly, we had here a weekly bullish candle, but we had here also a big rejection. So big rejection to the downside. So that's a sign that the bears can kick in from. So we need to see what we will have here on the daily. And on the daily, yeah, we have that bullish M here with an resistance and support region, so a nice supply momentum at these lows. So I want to see what the price will do at these lows, and I want to see for sure a pattern before I take this trade, because the weekly is giving me some signs that we can go here to the downside. So on the daily, if I go now to the 4 hour, then I want to see here, okay, we get that impulse, lower high, lower low here, and then I want to see here an reversal pattern for sure, or the bullish M. No deceleration for me. I want to see there a pattern, because the weekly is giving me some signs that we can have more downside momentum. So the next pair is NZDCHF. On the monthly chart, you can see that we are here also making a pattern in a pattern, the bearish W here with that head and shoulders here, shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2 with the descending trend line, first touch, second touch, third touch here. So that's nice to see that this is aligning. If I go now to the weekly, then you can see that we rejected from the zone with a deceleration box here, and very nice weekly bearish candle closes. This one was coming very impulsively to the upside last week, and then we went very aggressively to the downside. So that's a nice indication that the bears are still present, and we just touched the selling zone. As you can see, sellers here, institutional candle, clear supply and demand zone on the weekly, and we went to the downside. So I went then to the daily, and I saw we can have that bearish W here. So if we can go more to the downside, and then this descending trend line here that can hold the price down, and so this that bearish W and that shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2. So the price needs to come more to the downside to touch our 61.80. So that's what I want to see, that the price can close a little bit more to the downside like this, and then we can have this correction for more downside momentum. So on the 4 hour, yeah, we need to just wait because it's not that clear. So you can see we want to just have that impulse and then that corrective nature counter to the trend with a pattern or deceleration, or that bearish W for yeah, more downside momentum. So yeah, and now the last pair is CHFJPY. So on the monthly, this trade can be taken one of the first days. So on the monthly, we are at the big selling zone, but we are above it right now. So if I go now to the weekly, you can see we are above it, so we can go more to the upside. And what I can see is, okay, we had that big rejection candle here, so that's also again an indication, okay, we can come down, but we want to see on the daily what this will bring me. And on the daily, you can see that we have that bullish M here with another pattern, the shoulder 1 here, this head, shoulder 2 for more upside momentum, and that ascending trend line holding the price up. So then I want to see on the 4 hour, okay, what we can see is that we already had here 1, 2, 3, 4 deceleration candles. So this is diesel. So what I want to see right now is, can we make that bullish M under this highs here? So then the bullish M pattern, or can we make then the pattern within a pattern, the bullish M met the inverse and shoulder, shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2, supply and demand zone sitting at the 61.80 here, and then we can take our trade to the upside like this. Then our stop loss below this here. Then we can target just our 4-hour TP then. So what also a possibility here is that we can have one more deceleration candle of that zone. So if we have the next candle that begins this week, I will delete this, then you can see the next 4-hour candle can come till this zone, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can go to the upside and then making that shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2 with that bullish M. So this is also a possibility that we can have here also along on this, and the stop loss wide enough to take this trade. So you have a lot of possibilities here to take trades. So yeah, okay guys, I wish you a good trading week and see you next week. Bye.